Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Envy Jitters.
And I am CheerandCosplay.
And the year's over. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that was a short one. No, it's the end of the year, it's the end of the month, it's the end of, things. We've been watching a bunch of DC shows because I wanted to really, really bad, and I wanted an opportunity to force my friends to watch all of these things, which I did. I'm proud of myself, and we're ending on Justice League, because of course we are.
I mean, forced is kind of a strong word, because it's not like, these were bad shows.
Yeah. Who here has seen this before?
I've seen a few episodes years ago. Don't ask me which ones, but I remember watching some episodes as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a couple. I think you showed me the first 3 at some point.
I want to say no. What year was this?
2001 to 2006, maybe?
Okay, then absolutely not.
Okay. I've watched this series a good 3 times. So, yeah.
Are you talking the original and Unlimited together?
Yeah. Yeah. All of it. And then a bunch of the other ones we watched. This has been my month, man. This has just been my month. This is just a month to make me happy. Which, hey, you know what? Fuck it, it's my channel. Why not?
It's your gift to yourself for the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. I don't ask for anything else. So, yeah. So we watched quite a bit. This was the kind of culmination of Bruce Timm Paul Dini's work on the DC Animated Universe up to this point with Batman the Animated Series, Superman, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, and the Zeta Project, which we didn't really talk about, but was sort of an offshoot of Batman Beyond, one episode that they had. And
What?
It's the one that everybody forgets actually existed. It doesn't look like it fits in the thing, but it's about a robot that can transform into other people.
Oh.
Yeah, it got 2 seasons. Anywho, so Justice League. This is Batman, it's Superman, it's Wonder Woman, it's Green Lantern, Flash, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl, all of your favorites. Maybe some you didn't really know before that you watched this show, like me when I was a kid. But I knew some people, and I fucking love this show. I'm going to be gushing the whole time, so if anyone has actual criticism, feel free to jump in at some point.
I do.
Oh, no, I know you do.
I will stand up.
I will say I enjoyed the show a lot. I just have a question, and I do have a criticism over one episode.
Okay.
But
I
we'll
wonder
get
if
to
it's
that
the
later.
same as me.
Okay, well, we'll...
More than likely.
I made you guys watch 11 episodes this week.
There had to be one
So,
bad
a lot.
one.
I do apologize, but I did warn you it was going to be a lot. I think one of the not unfortunate. I love it. For the first 2 seasons of Justice League, all of their episodes, other than a couple special 3-parters, were 2-part episodes because they wanted to have a full hour show for some of these storylines. And I honestly like that because it really allowed them to flesh out a lot of character elements and the action and the story and that, which is important when you have 7 main protagonists. So, yeah. And then Justice League Unlimited, which was their seasons 3 through 5, went to more of an episodic, single episode, self-contained thing like a lot of their other shows were. But they also had a much larger season-long plot that they would usually follow.
And it had everybody.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Avengers Assemble from Endgame? This was, every DC hero you could pretty much think of,
and some that you never knew existed. I can list them all off later, but in the meantime, yeah, we primarily stuck to the main 7 for this because they were kind of the through line throughout the whole series. In that, we watched Injustice for All, where Lex Luthor finally gets to go full criminal and assembles an Injustice League. Legends, where we go into the multiverse and see alternate versions of some of our heroes, and there's also some crazy mind shenanigans going on. A Better World, I didn't realize I put this many parallel realities into this, but yeah, it's an Earth 2 plot line, which is actually extremely important for the series. Wild Cards, because you have to have a Joker episode. I realize I put the Joker in here a lot.
Yep.
But are you complaining? It's Mark Hamill's Joker. You know what I mean? It's still around Christmas time, so I had to throw in comfort and joy. I've mentioned For the Man Who Has Everything multiple times on this podcast, so I had to include it. And then epilogue and other little sliver that I'll bring up when we get to that point, because it was kind of meant to be the bookend of the universe, essentially. But yeah, criticism now, or just like we want to start with like things that we actually like?
Let's start with things we like.
I wanted to get my question out of the way. So again, I don't know a lot about comics, but I know that Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, and Green Lantern were founding members of the Justice League. I'm just kind of curious why they chose Hawkgirl. Was it to put another girl on the team?
Yes.
To balance out Wonder Woman? Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also the reason that they chose Jon Stewart Green Lantern instead of Hal Jordan, because looking pretty white across the board. Other than Martian Manhunter, who's green. But, yeah. Hawkgirl and Hawkman were founding members of the Justice Society of America, which I think was a precursor to the Justice League. But, you know, we can get to that when we get to some of the more nitty-gritty details, because there's a lot here, and there's a lot of comic book history and a whole bunch of other stuff going on, but also fun characters that I love a lot.
Yeah. No, I was just curious about that.
Yeah. Especially if we talk about Legends, I can bring some of that up. So what did you guys... I remember you said you might have seen some of this before. Did you remember any of these?
I don't think I watched any of these episodes.
Okay.
They weren't very familiar to me, but there were some really good ones. I did enjoy For the Man Who Has Everything. I like most of Alan Moore's stuff, so I'm not surprised that I enjoyed this plot. And
the surprising part is that he did.
The surprising part is that he approved of this adaptation, and I thought it was good. It was a really good Superman story, you know? And I liked the one where they go to the world with the weird
alternate Earth.
Legends. With the old superheroes they twisted around.
The Justice Guild of America.
I thought it was goofy, but it was fun, you know. And the weird kid that they had with them. Yeah. So I found that one fun. I liked the characters for the most part. I mean, they're characters that we're all familiar with. I didn't see much of Wonder Woman. I didn't feel like she got much of a highlight as a character, but...
That's my fault.
Aside from her, I felt like I got a good taste of, like, all of the characters for the most part. Hawkgirl is not a character I know very well, so it was interesting to see her, I guess. But, yeah, I'm not as familiar with that character. I'm honestly not as familiar with Green Lantern lore either. But I liked him, you know, and I liked Hawkgirl enough. But I was surprised that they got together, because I was like, where's Hawkman? I thought he's usually with her.
He shows up later. And there's drama.
I guess he ruins their relationship or something. I don't know, but...
I don't want to spoil it because I want you guys... I'm not going to spoil anything because there's a lot of plot that comes right after that episode.
Yeah, I'm curious about what happens there. I guess there's a love triangle of some sort.
I don't want to say anything because I want you guys to watch these shows because they're fucking good.
Yeah.
No, I know what happens. I did see that 2-part episode of what you're talking about, of what happens.
Technically, it's a 3-part, but there's also another part that comes way later. That's also... There's 2 Hawkmans. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Oh, well, the plot
gets crazy.
All right, well, I'm kind of invested in that. And yeah, Batman and Superman are always really cool to see. I really liked... the part in epilogue where Batman saves the card girl. What's her name?
Oh, Ace.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good example of like who Batman really is, like underneath all the emo and the darkness.
I think it's the episode that you gotta like show to a Batman writer before they write Batman. That way they don't just write Punisher.
Yeah, but just that part. Just those 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that part was really good. I feel like it was a very good example of like Batman. And just like I think For the Man Who Has Everything was a good example of Clark. So I enjoyed like the portrayals overall. Like I think most of the episodes were really good, but I do have like one that I'll talk about.
Okay.
CC?
I this was fine. This was good. I don't have anything particularly scathing or glowing to say about it.
I feel like we've overloaded you with super stuff this last 2 months.
Bit.
How is your brain right now?
It's kind of mush, but it's also kind of unrelated. So it's fine.
End of the year is not a great time to overload people with characters and plot and story.
Yeah. Especially if you're not familiar with any of these plots or characters.
This is more of a May, June kind of month that we should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take someone that's really not into comic books and superheroes, and you overload them with all superheroes and probably over 50 episodes total that we've watched.
No.
Maybe.
No. Well,
Might be. At least
Might
30 or 40.
Okay, yeah, 30 or 40 maybe, but not 50. We're shy of 50. I don't think we went over 9 for most of these weeks, so.
Oh, I liked the Christmas episode, and I liked seeing the Royal Flush again. I liked seeing their origin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Christmas one was
Just
cute. I liked how Clark
really
was
cute.
in that one.
We used to wrap his presents in lead foil so he couldn't peek.
You mean Santa wrapped them?
Oh, of course, dear.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So Clark does believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I don't know that it's canon here, but you know how long he's been around. He's had to have met Santa at least 7 times in the comics. So of course he has to believe in Santa because he's real.
Yeah, I think there is a version of the comics where Santa is real in the DC universe.
I think he is just real because I feel like every comic book character at some point or another, whether it was like a short issue or whatever, has met Santa.
Yeah.
I mean, according to this, the Flash is Santa.
He's a version of Santa.
Well, he was just helping out the kids at the orphanage.
Yeah, with Freaky the Snowman.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And I like the sweater that the parents got for Martian Manhunt. It was fun.
Yeah.
Ma and Papa Ken is the best. Are the best.
It was cute.
Yeah.
They still wrap the presents in lead.
Lead.
I just want to believe it in this universe, like this show's timeline, Santa doesn't exist, and Clark just is still a kid at heart and he believes in Santa.
I can't agree with you because you just said the words, I hope Santa doesn't exist.
Okay, taking my words out of context.
What's the
I'm fine with
other
that, to be
context?
honest.
What's the other context? You literally just said it. You said in this universe, I hope Santa doesn't exist because that makes... No. Santa's real if you believe he's real. I'm derailing. I don't know. We're past Christmas when we're recording this, so it's like...
Just barely.
You know what? I got people in my family who celebrate Orthodox Christmas.
Hey, I celebrate Orthodox Christmas.
Yeah, we're allowed to celebrate Christmas up through the 7th, so we're good.
Well, and then if you're Christian, there's like 12 weeks of Christmas or something like that after Christmas, or 8 or something like that. So
that's
I thought that was
Orthodox
before.
Christmas.
Like the 12 days of Christmas, we mean?
I thought that leads up to Christmas. Am I crazy?
I think that leads up to
Yeah.
I don't know. Orthodox Christmas is the 7th, that's all I know.
I don't
Yeah.
know. My church has like 4 or 5 or 6 weeks of Christmas or something like that. So
Okay, I don't know who celebrates
Christmas
4 to 5,
season.
6 weeks of Christmas, but I want to be part
That's
of that party.
cool, yeah.
I'm occasionally a fan of Christmas in July.
Here we go.
Fine.
I recently found out that that's for Australians because they don't get to do like the cozy Christmassy stuff because it's summer for Christmas for them.
Hey man, sometimes good things come out of the Outback. I mean, look at their steakhouses. We gotta start celebrating Summerween, though.
Goss.
Summerween, yeah.
Let's carve some jack-o'-melons and stuff. Anyway, Justice League.
Yep.
I don't know, what we were going around. Envy, did you have particulars that you liked here or hated?
Well, I think you know what episode I don't like, and I think me and Yin have the same exact opinion. But
Oh, probably.
I will say, other than that, I enjoyed all the episodes. I had a lot of fun. I mean, I will say the Injustice League episode was kind of great for 2 reasons. One, you finally get some comeuppance for Lex Luthor, and yes, even though he has the power suit at the end that deviates the kryptonite cancer, but there's that, and that whole second episode was just basically Batman. Why Batman is such a badass, because it's literally 12 steps ahead of everybody. Like fooling Grundy to attack everybody, rizzing a cheetah.
In 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Rizzing a cheetah.
Yeah, well, did he not riz cheetah?
Look. We know his history. He's into Catwoman.
Yeah.
Basically told he could have...
No surprises there, just that phrase is so funny.
Yeah, basically told everybody he could have escaped at any time, but he was trying to keep a track on people. But at the same time, Joker did also got the one-ups on him, and that's probably one of the best laughs in Mark Hamill's Joker career. That whole laugh where he's unloading the rocks and just loses himself maniacally. That whole episode had good Joker laughs and moments.
Yeah.
Although, I do want to question, though, why they didn't unmask him. Like, they literally could have unmasked him while he was unconscious and found out he was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But details.
But then, honestly, I do like the versions of Joker who are usually like, I'm not going to unmask you because then you're just some guy.
Well, no, but Lex. Like, there is no way Lex wouldn't try to figure out that, a man who's just as rich, if not richer than me, is... one of my greatest enemies.
He doesn't know that he's rich. That probably would have prompted him to unmask him. That being said, he knows that the utility belt is booby-trapped. How does he not know other parts of him are booby-trapped? And he's just not willing to risk it for... He's got bigger plans at that point.
Yeah. And I also do like with the Injustice for All, or whatever that... the Injustice League, or the one where Evil Superman, it's almost like a precursor to the Injustice video game and comics. Like, that's I feel like that's almost like the prototype they based that franchise on.
Yeah, it's a different version of Earth 2. Earth 2 is usually like the Crime League, which is just straight up evil versions of them, but this is more of a good intentions led to terrible actions kind of fascism and stuff.
Yeah, because like I was watching that episode and I was reminded of so many plot points from the... Did you ever play the Injustice video games or read the comics that was based off of it?
I didn't really, but I'm like osmosis, I am aware of most of it, I think.
Okay, because obviously in Injustice, Superman is flat out evil and Batman leads a resistance against him, but in this one, like you said, Superman's trying his best, but once you go martial law in the country, you kind of lose the plot there a little bit.
Oh, no, I think he is kind of evil. He does seem to relish some of the nastier stuff that he had to do later on. Like, where they're like, no, don't... Even his buddies from that world are like, don't kill Lex right now. They're not ready for this kind of thing. He's like...
All right, I'm patient.
Like, he's just gonna savor it. And it's like, okay, no, you're full on evil now.
Yeah. But then, but it also brings up a good question, though. Like, so Doomsday comes to the, the regular Justice League universe, and the other Superman beats him by literally giving him a lobotomy. Mm-hmm. Well, everyone on, Lois Lane was like, that's so out of character for you. But I'm thinking, well, he technically didn't kill him. So is that really evil?
It's probably one of those concessions that you kind of make where it's like, okay, yes, I'm not killing you. I'm just destroying who you are as a person and leaving you a shell of your former self. But that's not killing you. It's one of those, okay, but aren't you kind of anyway, a little bit? Yeah, you didn't end their life technically, but also they're not a person, almost. You unpersoned them.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's one of those, you can debate this, but it still feels very on the wrong side of things. Mm-hmm. How was it to see lobotomized Joker, though?
That was, it kind of reminded me of The Dark Knight Returns, where they thought he was rehabilitated, but then obviously that was a farce, but this one was real.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. I'm honestly a little more freaked out by that than him actually being maniacal.
I did crack up, though, where it showed all the Arkham inmates, getting lobotomized, and they had the ventriloquist dummy being the one that was lobotomized, not the actual human that was holding on to him.
It's psychosomatic. We all know this.
That kind of reminds me, because that made me think of Batman Ninja. When he hypnotized himself or whatever. They put Batman Ninja in Fortnite. I don't know if you guys saw that.
What?
I don't play Fortnite. I'm not gonna.
I don't think it's like the Batman Ninja. I think it's just Batman with a samurai suit, but still, it made me laugh.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. How did you guys like the Evangelion reference in Legends?
What was the Evangelion reference?
Did no one else notice that the giant robot Lex Luthor was piloting at the very beginning was like Ava Unit 1 or 2 or something?
I've never seen Ava, so I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I just wasn't thinking about it.
It was literally just Ava 1 in reverse colors.
Maybe I'd looked away, I don't know. But I have seen Evangelion.
Okay. Yeah, these were... I had a tough time picking out episodes because to me, this is like Avatar. It's like they're all good.
Yeah,
they're all really good.
I will say,
there's some
Yin,
that are better, but
I will say, Yin, there are great Wonder Woman episodes because Batman, because Wonder Woman and Batman, they were one of my ships growing up as a kid. Like I didn't watch much, but I did ship them in the episodes that I did see, and they do have a lot of good moments. Like there's one episode in particular where Clark, John, Green Lantern, Batman, and Wonder Woman, they get turned into kids, and imagine them as kids, and the shenanigans of that ensues.
They get so comic booky as the show keeps going.
And then there's one episode where Wonder Woman gets turned into a pig by Cersei, and so Batman has to work with Zatanna again to get her back. And I won't spoil how he solves
don't spoil
issue, but it surprised me because
does he kiss the pig?
No, he doesn't kiss the pig.
Okay.
I'll just say this. I knew Kevin Conroy was talented. I didn't know he was that talented.
Oh, he is talented.
Okay.
Well, now you gotta watch the episode.
Does he riz the pig?
No, he does not riz the pig. He does
okay, first
suggestively, though.
Let's be clear. The pig was already rizzed up before it became pig. But...
No.
You need to watch this whole series. It's so fucking good. There's maybe there's a couple episodes that I kind of be like, this one's kind of whatever. I think here's my main problem. Not problem, but here's part of the reason that I think I kind of ended up picking these ones. I had to include Injustice for All because Lex Luthor is such an important character to this series. He is almost like the primary villain throughout the whole series. And I really wanted to have he goes full villain. He puts on the Legion of Doom Super Friends outfit. He goes full mad scientist. I love that for him and his character. Plus Batman.
Yeah.
There's always that argument of Batman doesn't have superpowers. Why is he on the This is why he's on the Justice League, because he's fucking Batman and he can do anything. Had to include that. Legends, because it hits on so many things that a lot of the comics over the years, it just packs them all into 2 episodes. Better World, these 2 episodes alone set up 2 seasons worth of plot for Justice League Unlimited. Between the threat of a rogue Justice League and Lex Luthor possibly becoming president, that encompasses so much stuff. And it
was Legends the Justice Guild episode.
That was the Justice Guild, yeah.
Yeah.
Had to include wild cards because it's the last time we got to see Joker and Harley Quinn in this universe because of behind the scenes shenanigans that I'm not happy about, but it is what it is.
Nope.
Comfort and Joy 'Cause Christmas. For the man who has everything. I've mentioned it before. Alan Moore hates everything that has ever been adapted of his work except for this one thing. So you have to include it. And an epilogue because it's it was meant to be like the end of the series as a whole. So
yeah, I did like with the Legends episode. It was like a love letter and a critique of the old school comic sensibilities at the same time. Yeah, like it made you understand why they were, you know, so popular and beloved, but also pointing the figure at some of the tropes, like the woman was like, and go cook and clean.
Yeah,
because she can't do anything else.
we're back in the 50s. We have everything from corny villains to good old-fashioned patriarchal misogyny and even casual racism. And I think it ended up being why I didn't include some Wonder Woman episodes was because I wanted to, one, make sure that I had... For some of these, I wanted to make sure I showcased everyone. And I needed to do that because there's a very big cast here. Legends also worked because it covered 4 characters that maybe people weren't very familiar with and kind of showcased them without, you know, Batman and Superman kind of like taking up a lot of space because we know them already. And as a result of that, and the other ones had the other reasons that I wanted them in, a lot of Wonder Woman's episodes kind of doubled up on some of these things. And I kind of thought Legends was a little bit better. And other Wonder Woman episodes that I really like come much later, and they also include a lot of plot-heavy elements from Unlimited, so it's like, well, you're not going to fully understand what's going on. That's one of the really good things about these first 2 seasons was that the hour-long episodes and that were almost entirely self-contained. And you didn't have to worry about like an overall arcing plot, like from episode to episode, other than the 2-part episodes. Then with Unlimited, it kind of turned into more of a, yes, each individual episode is a self-contained story, but they also have the underlying plot for the entire season. So if you're not following along with that, you might be missing some stuff, or you might not understand why certain people are acting the way that they are. And it came a little more difficult to pick out the episodes of Unlimited to add. I had to do Man Who Has Everything because like it's such an easily self-contained story. But yeah, so that was kind of the reason for that. Otherwise, I probably would have included Wonder Pig or something like that. I love the Wonder Bat ship too. It's both, honestly, you know what? The kids and then baby Etrigan the Demon, hilarious. Great episode, but it's also like, I can't fit in everything. Unless you guys wanted to watch 52 fucking episodes for this week.
Probably not.
No, I would have got a whole bunch of people complaining at me at that point.
Well, is it time for me and Yin to bash epilogue now?
Yeah, by all means. I mean, I'm not going to say it's their best episode.
I will say that. I'll say this, and I'll let Yin tear in a new one. I understand what they were trying to do. I just didn't like that choice at all. I don't like the idea that they made Terry Bruce Wayne's biological son. I felt it would be more impactful if he just chose Terry at random to be his successor rather than, he's genetically modified to be the successor to Batman. I thought that was unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, it's not
Me
a great
too.
Go off.
Me too. It just seemed like such a weird, cop-out, because it just felt stronger for him to be chosen by Batman, like how the Robins were chosen by Batman. And just him being, the almost Batman clone or something. And weirdly, it was Amanda Waller, of all people, who did it. It just was, it was so random to me that it just kind of ruined the whole Batman Beyond. I almost wish I didn't know any of that. That was just such a weird choice. And why was Barbara the assassin? What was she? Why did
I thought that was Andrea? I thought that was Andrea Beaumont from Mask of the Phantasm.
It could have been maybe, but it looks a hell of a lot like Barbara Gordon.
Okay, I'm gonna hope that you're correct.
You know what? If it is Andrea Beaumont, that's fine.
I'm gonna hope that you're correct, NB. I'm gonna go with that, because that actually helps a little bit.
Otherwise, we just chalk it up to Bruce Timm don't do things with
Don't
Batman.
touch Barbara, yeah. But yeah, I thought it was unbelievably stupid too, him being the biological son of Batman. I just also felt like it was a weird ending for Justice League. I don't know. Like, I understand that you need to, like, end everything, but it felt like, what about the whole rest of the Justice League? I don't know. It felt like it was just an ending. Well,
technically, it was the season 2 finale of Unlimited, and they did have an extra season of Unlimited that followed it.
But they didn't know that.
Yeah, Epilogue was meant to be the bookend of the entire series because they didn't think they were going to get a season 5. Before that episode is the culmination of the 2 seasons of Unlimited. Big fight, big character stuff, a whole lot of stuff is resolved. I will let you know that. But it's so plot heavy and like intertwined with a whole bunch of stuff that's like, okay, is this going to be as impactful if you don't watch up to it?
And that's why I feel like if they're going to give Batman and Batman Beyond its own separate episode, then they should have done that for everyone. What about Superman or Wonder Woman or all the other people?
They kind of do here and there. But like, we didn't watch it because it's...
Like their ending, though?
Sort of, in a couple spots.
Okay, well, you're sounding iffy about it. I don't know. I think they just cared more about Batman's story, which is fine, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a weird ending to Justice League. And I felt like the twist was weird in and of itself. And I really just hated the episode. End of rant.
Okay, do you know what I realized that they did? At the very end, it's like, what's your name? Ray Skywalker.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like that. I don't know. But maybe worse. I'm not sure.
I will say, if we can give it any compliments, it's not 2.5 fucking hours like Rise of Skywalker was.
That's fair.
So, as far as fucking up.
Yeah.
And it does have that little nugget of good in the middle.
Like, that one part with Batman was good, but it was like, why are we doing this? I don't know.
I think part of it is because Batman Beyond got canceled and never really got an ending.
Why did this have to be the ending?
You know what? Sometimes Bruce Timm drops the ball.
Yeah.
He's usually really great, but sometimes he drops the ball. I would like to point out, because I did include the first 2 minutes of the first episode of Batman the Animated Series in there, because they do have a mirror in this episode with the first shot from Batman the Animated Series when they first started the whole thing was Man-Bat flying through the city and the silhouette of a bat on a bunch of buildings and flying through and all that sort of stuff. And then they had to end the series sort of the same way that it began, with Terry, a bat figure, flying through the city and flying up into the clouds and all that. And I did like
that shot. I did like that music they played.
Yeah. Again, Star Wars. It's like poetry. It rhymes. So... how many other Star Wars... We'll see how many more Star Wars references we can make. But yeah, so those were some of the main reasons. It's not the best episode. I will openly admit that. It's got some problems. Also, why are you still with Dana? She kind of sucks. But
yeah, after so long, still with Dana.
You know what? We're not going to say that Bruce has a great track record with women. So, hey, he really is his son.
Yeah, and I will say this. I do like how they address Terry trying to, worry about his family, and then at the very end, he tries to, do something that Bruce never did and try to have a family. But my thing, though, is this episode, take place all in one night? So, does he break up with Dana, go storm off to the Justice League, tell him he's out, go to Bruce, yell at him, then go to Amanda Waller, then rekindle with Dana, and then go off at 3 a.m. with Superman all in one night?
No.
Okay.
I assume...
That's what it felt like.
Well, I assume that the parts that are in black and white are more flashbacky, so they could have been over the course of a week or so.
That's fair.
And then the parts that are in color are all in one night.
Okay.
I feel like that's more reasonable. But I could be wrong. Maybe your timeline is correct. And Terry is a busy boy. Also, it's Gotham. It gets 3 hours of sunlight a day, so...
It's true. I'm not gonna lie, I really did not know what was going on in that last episode.
I mainly had it there for the Batman bit in the middle and the ending shot. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, to
even
make it
I will admit it's not great what they do to Terry.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I will say
it almost makes you wonder if Terry's dad kind of looked at his kids one day and it's like, why do these kids not look nothing like me at all? And why does they strangely look like Bruce Wayne the billionaire?
I mean, I don't know. Okay. It's unfortunate because I have made the same mistake. I keep complaining that we keep seeing bad versions of Amanda Waller, and I've showed a bad version of Amanda Waller. I promise you, in her prime, she is much better. I originally was going to, instead of this, include one that actually included her and included the plot and stuff. And as I was like kind of looking at the episode, I'm like, there is so much plot going on. No one's going to have any fucking clue what's happening.
That's fair.
But it's such a good episode. It was actually going to be a point because here's the thing. We didn't get to the episodes because it's much later in the series, but Batman Beyond actually has the first appearance of the Justice League in this universe. And it's with an older Superman who is aging so fucking gracefully. It's kind of like one of those, man, fuck you. A new Green Lantern, Aquaman's daughter, I forget if they call her Aqua Gal or maybe just Mira, I don't know. And Big Barda is there because they couldn't get the rights to Wonder Woman at that time because the estate of the creator of Wonder Woman didn't want her to be a bit part. And the only reason she's in this show was because they promised them, yeah, we will make her an actual thing in this. And then I didn't include any episodes that did that. So I apologize to the estate of Wonder Woman's creator. But yeah. Where was I going?
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. You could have been 1980. You could have been Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. But yeah, so Batman Beyond did have the first version of the Justice League, and they actually fight Starro, which is the first thing the Justice League ever fought. So they understand their comics and stuff like that. But in that version, Bruce doesn't trust Clark at all. And he even tells Terry, don't join the Justice League. It's like a bad idea. And he's like, why? And then there was supposed to be a plot line through Unlimited where Batman actually leaves the Justice League because he doesn't trust them anymore. It has to do with the Cadmus stuff and Amanda Waller and a whole bunch of other things. And actually it was supposed to be more of a, I feel like I brought this up before, the Kingdom Come storyline where the Justice League kind of splits. And it also does kind of include a bit of a fascist Superman a little bit. Or at least the intentions are good, but still, you're taking over the world, and it's authoritarian, and it's not great.
I forget what movie it was, but there was an animated movie in either the late 2000s or early 2010s where Batman basically has a tape of every Justice League's member's weakness, and one villain gets it, and he... Oh, is it Doom? Okay.
Justice League Doom, yeah. Vandal Savage and a bunch of other villains in that. It's based on the Tower of Babel comic.
Okay.
Yeah. That's always a thing, contingencies and stuff, and it probably would have been included, but they scrapped the idea. And I think there's people who have analyzed this better than me, but there is a time travel episode in Justice League, because of course there is. And I've mentioned this, he does get to the future and sees a version of the future and that.
Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman. Or have you met?
Not now.
And it kind of maybe got him to think about things in a different way. That perhaps he was like, maybe I need to not suddenly start distrusting people and maybe work with people more. So it's possible some of the stuff and Bruce's situation in Batman Beyond might be somewhat undone, but also not, and we don't know. But I don't think this version of Batman is the exact same version that we get in Batman Beyond. Or at the very least, we never got to the point where he has stopped trusting the Justice League. So take that how you will. He's still pretty alone in Epilogue, though. So it's like, we can't completely... Yeah. He's still... Batman's gonna Batman. Like, we know what's up, but... I don't know. This is kind of just fan theory. But, yeah. Now I want to watch the time travel episodes. Also includes a whole lot of drama with Green Lantern and Hawkgirl. Oh. And Wonder Bats.
Wow.
And you know what? This show actually has a shit ton of shipping fodder.
Guess so.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten to like the Green Arrow, Black Canary, and then there's Huntress and Question and a whole bunch of stuff. Question's really great in this show. I'm just gonna let you, because I know you're a fan.
I love the Question. I love the comics.
He is given some meaty roles in this.
Nice.
So, I definitely recommend
Happy
that.
for him because he's always underrated.
I mean, I think it is one of those situations because, like, I didn't include the Booster Gold episode.
I love Booster Gold too.
Booster Gold.
It is one of the highest rated episodes.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. They do, because, like, here's the thing. Again, and I feel like we've said this before, these creators are fans. They are huge comic book fans. If Legends couldn't tell you, these guys are huge comic book fans.
Was Blue Beetle in it too?
Blue Beetle never makes an appearance, unfortunately. It might have been a rights issue at the time or something. I don't know. I think it was kind of in that, I'm trying to remember, when did Ted Kord die in the comics?
Oof.
Because if it was around the same time, that might have been
a lot. Yeah.
That might have been why, because they hadn't like reinvented him with Jaime. I know Jaime Reyes shows up as Blue Beetle in Batman Brave and the Bold in 2008.
Oh yeah, that's
which was
true.
a few years after. So it might have been right in that time that Blue Beetle was just not in the comics, so they weren't going to do it. But they also have like some really fucking obscure ones.
Oh.
Like, let's just go with you want to watch Wonder Pig episode? We should do that. You know who else is in there? Have you ever heard of Bawana Beast?
No.
How about Crimson Avenger?
Actually, I think so.
You've heard of Crimson Avenger?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was in DC Comics #5. Crimson Avenger.
Maybe I've heard him as a joke.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There are some really, like, and not everybody gets like a big highlight kind of thing. But if you look at the background, you can find some really obscure ones. Like, I'm really trying to think. I'm trying to think if I could go through the whole roster right now. I am not going to waste everybody's time with it, but I probably fucking could.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just put it in post and sing it like the Pokemon rap from the old G cartoon.
No. I want to do it like Yakko Warner's The Countries of the World.
Also a good choice.
We'll see if I do not have enough time to edit that. How dare you put that in my head? Now I want to do it, and I know I can't. I also can't sing.
Patreon content.
Patreon content, yes. No. They actually, nothing for nothing. I could have included the Suicide Squad episode. Because it actually includes a competent Suicide Squad.
What? That exists?
Yeah, it does. None of them even had superpowers. It's almost like it's better if they don't. Seriously, Amanda Waller, it's Rick Flag, Deadshot, Plastique, Captain Boomerang, and Clock King infiltrate the Justice League satellite, get past, and this is in an unlimited, so it's like everybody's there. They succeed.
Wow.
So,
good for them.
Yeah. You want to talk about a competent Amanda Waller? Oh, and none of them went rogue either. She actually knew what she was doing for once. How did you guys like the Teen Titans showing up in Wildcards?
That was awesome. I like that cameo.
Yeah. Because that's the only time they're ever going to fight.
Yeah.
Again, because we had this last week. I feel like they always give Hynden Walsh the really emotional role. Because she was also... Starfire was also Ace and Permafrost from Static.
True.
They keep giving her the, like, really, like, oh, I'm going to make you cry today.
Yeah.
Roles.
Yeah.
Legends was a lot of fun. And I like that they shouted out Gardner Fox at the end of that. You know that name, right?
Remind me more about it.
I'm going to tell them because I know they don't know. That's the guy who created the Justice Society of America, the Justice League. I'm pretty sure he invented Hawkman and Hawkgirl. And did a lot of work for the Golden Age version of the superheroes. Like Green Lantern and Flash and all that. He's actually the guy who in 1961 wrote the Flash from Two Worlds comic, which actually introduces the DC multiverse, where Barry Allen got to meet Jay Garrick and the two different Flashes, and without it, we would not have so many different versions of these characters. He did, like, in his career, he made like 4,000 issues of comics.
Whoa.
Like, at least,
Damn.
it's estimated, because no one actually has because it was like way back in the day when they didn't keep the best of records. So it's estimated something around 4,000 comics, 1,500 of which were for DC Comics. So he established so much.
He was prolific.
Yeah. it's difficult to say when you compare someone to like Stan Lee because he put his name on so many things that not all the time maybe he should have. But I would definitely like also compare him to like a Jack Kirby, who where we have a little more of like a better record of like some of the stuff that he contributed. Jack Kirby also did a bunch of stuff for DC, like with the New Gods.
Yeah, he did. The New Gods was good.
New Gods are in this show as well. Orion does join the Justice League.
Oh, nice. So,
yeah. I have a couple episodes of that. I'm trying to think. Who are some of your favorites from DC and that? I'm going to try to think if they have like a good episode somewhere.
Like my favorite characters and
yeah,
stuff?
outside of what we've seen so far.
Well, it's hard because you already named some of them. I love The Question. I love Booster Gold. I love Zatanna.
She gets an episode, so that's pretty good.
I love Nightwing, but you said he's not in it.
He gets a we'll never say it cameo.
Okay.
Because I should just tell you guys this, because this has to do with wild cards. This was the last time that Mark Hamill and Arlene Sorkin got to be Joker and Harley Quinn for this universe. Because at the time, Kids WB was developing a new Batman show called The Batman. Yeah. And this show was exclusively on Cartoon Network. And Warner Brothers was like, well, we want to have a Batman show, but it's going to be weird if there's like Batman characters in your Justice League show, but then they're also in our Batman show over here. And that's just going to confuse people because heaven forbid they should be in two places at once in two different versions. So past season 2 of Justice League, Batman's the only Gotham character allowed. No Alfred, who does show up in Justice League. No Robins, no Batgirl, no Gotham at all. I don't even think we go back to the city.
Okay, I've got one that I'm curious if he's in it. Miracle Man. Mr. Miracle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle and Big Barda and their other buddy and the Flash all go to Apocalypse to get something.
Okay, so we got Mr. Miracle.
Plus Big Barda, I mentioned, she was in the Justice League.
Yeah, I didn't know if they showed Mr. Miracle.
They do here.
Okay, cool. What about Animal Man?
He does not make it.
Okay.
Sorry to say. Maybe a background character. No, I don't think Animal Man made it.
He's pretty obscure, I'm not gonna lie.
He is.
But he had a good run in like the 80s. Like, good Animal Man run.
Oh, did anyone else notice Max Goof again this week?
No, what?
Who is he again?
He was Snapper Carr, the news reporter. It's a short thing, but that's actually also a reference to a much deeper comic lore. So Legends, you guys remember the kid in Legends who turned out to like be WandaVisioning everybody for 40 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that character is based on the actual character of Snapper Carr, who was just the junior member of the Justice League, who was there as a self-insert for all the kids reading the comics, who actually in the comics ended up betraying the Justice League and selling them out for money or something. I don't know. He did pull like a Judas thing, not a Judas contract because that was more complicated, but like a more Judas, like, oh my God, why this kid sold us out?
Yeah, biblical Jewish.
Yeah.
You can actually use that reference. Biblically accurate Judas.
Biblically. Oh God, if this is biblically accurate Judas, he's creating a horrible alternate version where the 50s never ended. No, yeah, so many deep cuts in that one, including the villains who are real DC villains. Music, like, they changed the names, but it's Music Meister, Sportsmaster, Icicle, and Abracadabra. Like,
yeah.
But I do love Catman being straight up Adam West.
Yeah.
Like, we had to be happy about that. Hey, I got to naturally bring up Adam West.
Yeah.
I'm happy. That's all I needed. Oh, and I guess we could say, hey, there is one other good thing about Epilogue. Okay? Grey Ghost got a movie franchise. So we can, that's good. Good for, and you know Simon Trent was not going to be able to reprise his role, but he got a cameo. And that's good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there were other crazy, silly things. Like, nothing for nothing. I think one of the biggest things that I love about this show, and it's probably easier whenever you actually, like, sit down and watch them, like, over the long period of time that I have, as opposed to, like, these snapshots of the whole thing. I love how all the characters interact with each other over time. Like, season 1, I think is a little bit hit and miss as far as stories go and some of the character interactions, because I think there was a little bit of growing pains. I showed you the first 3 episodes, which was the Secret Origins with the White Martian invasion.
Yeah.
It's rough. Like, I think it's a very solid story to start out this show with, but everything from like some bits of the animation, the voice acting, the storytelling stuff, like it's very like, this is a pilot and we need to iron out a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were too young to watch Batman the Animated Series live because, you were probably born when that show came out. But, like, did you watch reruns of Batman and Superman? And then did you watch all the other shows when they came out? Like, did you watch Batman Beyond, Static Shock, and Justice League Unlimited, like, in a row when they came out?
I feel like I mention this every week. Yeah, I watched a ton of reruns of Batman. Watched a ton of reruns of the Superman. Maybe some of those when they were coming out because it was a little bit later. I genuinely remember watching the premiere of Batman Beyond. I don't think I watched the premiere of Static, but I do remember watching that as it was coming out. And I specifically remember watching this show when it first started. Because around that time was when I started like actually understanding like, oh, this is when it's starting. This is like the new thing. It wasn't just, I just turned on the TV and just went. I actually was able to like pick up on what a bumper was and what commercials meant and like, ooh, this is going to be a thing next week. I understand what time now is.
Well, but like the reason why I asked is because like obviously this was all part of one big universe, and whether or not it meant to be that at the start, but like it wasn't. But like, did it feel satisfying for you, watching Batman the Animated Series, and then as the final episode of Justice League Unlimited ended, you're like, damn, that was a good damn universe. That was a good 12 to 13 year run that ended.
Yeah, why do you think I've watched this entire series from start to finish at least 3 times? I love this series. I love like that it combined all of these things together. And again, there's some rough spots here and there. Again, season 1's not the best. I think season 2's perfect. From start to finish is fantastic. Then Unlimited is like, it's a bit of a roller coaster because you have so many different characters and so many different plots going, but also the through line of it with everything that's going on works so well. Even if some episodes are a little better or worse than others, it's such a fantastic ride. And again, the characters, I think, are the biggest selling point of the whole thing. Because, like, over time, every character has a different dynamic with everybody else. And it's such a well-tuned thing. Because, like, I think you and me were talking about this because you were wondering how they recorded a lot of the voices. And not every animation group or people, I know Disney doesn't normally do this with a lot of their stuff. They'll record a lot of their people individually on their own and that sort of thing. I know that Justice League and a lot of other ones that Andrea Romano did were like large room, everybody's got a mic. We're going to read all together and do this. And it's not always great for the recording because some people will yell and do this or do that. And like, if you know anything about Mark Hamill's Joker, he is extremely animated when he's doing it. So it's not perfect. But, if you got a couple hiccups here and there, you can pick up those lines later. It's fine. I think doing that and having such a good cast made the relationships and the interactions between them so much better and so much more believable. Like, I'm going to be real with you. Wonder Bats never would have been a thing if it wasn't for Kevin Conroy straight up just having perfect chemistry with this woman. Yeah. Susan Eisenberg.
Yeah, Susan Eisenberg, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they planned that, but they were like, this works. Let's roll with this. I honestly think it probably would have been the same thing with Hawkgirl and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil Lamar and Maria Canales-Perea.
Oh, hey, Cece, you know this person. Have you watched Wizards of Waverly Place?
Not the new one.
But have you seen it?
Yes.
Cool. Hawkgirl's the mom.
Oh, she was she was in another bad Christmas movie that I watched this year.
Fantastic. I'm so happy that she's still getting work because I actually like her. Despite the fact that she was also in Master of Disguise, which is one of the worst movies.
Oh.
Ugh.
Not familiar.
Oh no, you are. I've shown it to you.
Oh, wait.
You blocked it out, I think.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't remember the Turtley Club, the turtlest of Turtley Clubs?
No.
You don't need to remember.
You do need to remember. It is featured in a ride at our local theme park.
Look, if I'm ever angry at you, I'll show it to you.
I think I repressed it.
If I ever want to hurt you, just understand I'm going to put it in the Master of Disguise DVD.
It's crazy because you're all like quoting it and stuff, and I'm like, why can't I remember it?
Hey, not all of us have the power of repression, okay? Some of us have to live with the things that we've seen.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And I was also, I did mention in my Superman review, or the Superman recording, that I didn't like Flash in that episode at all. This is why I said that, because I loved Flash's portrayal in the show. Yeah, he's the goofball. Yeah, he's the comic relief, but genuinely, he's a nice guy, and he is the heart and soul of the team. Hence the evil Justice League episode where the Flash is killed and everyone lost their empathy. So this is the Flash I wanted to see. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I think the whole Christmas episode's great. I think Flash is the best part of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's so much fun.
And I wasn't I wasn't familiar with what's the weird monkey big brain guy's name?
The Ultra Humanite?
Yeah, Ultra Humanite. I wasn't that big. I did not know who he was, but I liked him as a character. I thought he was pretty funny. And,
oh yeah, he's a very old character. Starro was the first threat that brought the Justice League together, but Ultra Humanite was actually the first long-running Justice League villain. So I'm glad that they picked him out and were like, hey, let's showcase him a couple times.
Granted, he is kind of similar to Gorilla Grodd because they're very, very intelligent primates, or if he is a primate, I don't even know what the hell he is.
He's like half gorilla, half man, half 2/3 brain. I don't know.
I don't think those fractions add up.
Well, I'm not the Ultra Humanite, so I don't math very well. But I think part of the element of I think over time he kind of did become one of those yes, you are villainous, but also you're not you're a bad guy, but you're not a bad
guy.
It's I think Gorilla Grodd is in this show, and he is full villain, all the way. So it works a lot better for him being fully villainous and coming back so often as a villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Freaky the Snowman. He's like, this is so degrading. No, I honestly, I don't know how they would have incorporated him more, but I wouldn't have minded seeing more of him a little bit. It was just a fun side character. What if he had joined the Justice League and is just there doing engineering or something and just being sassy the whole time?
I mean, that was what made Injustice interesting, because once Superman and his regime takes control, they literally have some villains join the Resistance, and you see, and it's ironic because Harley Quinn becomes Batman's right-hand woman, basically, which is both hilarious and funny at the same time. Well, hilarious and ingenious at the same time.
It's both hilarious and funny. It's also comical and whimsical and laugh-worthy.
I can do English.
I can't, but I still try. Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly, there are a number of times in this where you do have some team-ups with a number of characters, especially the very end of the series. I'm just going to tell you, in the end of Season 5, Apocalypse invades Earth. The entire Legion of Doom and the entire Justice League have to team up to stop this invasion. Which it also makes me a little bit pissed off, because the original idea for that also was supposed to include the Joker and Harley Quinn helping out. But they couldn't do that because of the death of the Batman, and I didn't.
I mean, when your final boss is literally Darkseid, you kind of need everybody.
Oh yeah. Do you like Deadman?
Yeah.
He's also in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out random stuff now. Hawk and Dove, not the best episode, but they're
okay. What about Doom Patrol?
No, they got relegated to Teen Titans.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, which was kind of running a little bit at the same time.
Yeah, it aired from 2003 to 2006, so yeah.
Yeah, so right about when they were doing Doom Patrol was about the end of this series as well, so that was not going to work out. Unfortunate. I would have been really interested to see their version of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's why we also didn't get the Teen Titans in this.
Right, we didn't see them either.
Yeah, and it also wouldn't have worked timeline-wise because Robin was like a teenager, literally because it's Teen Titans, and in the DCAU he was like an adult, right, when he left.
There's different Robins.
Yeah, it could have been one of the others.
But they kind of heavily said in Teen Titans that it was the Dick Grayson version of Robin. Like, they kind of just all but said...
He becomes Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you agree with the people behind the scenes who are like, if there's more than one version of a character on TV, everyone's going to be confused.
No, I didn't say that. I was just saying, like, if the two shows would have been in the same universe, it wouldn't have fit if it was Dick Grayson's Robin.
They weren't in the same universe. I'm saying you could have the show simultaneously, just different versions of the characters.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have big crossovers like that until Teen Titans Go went multiverse, so...
Yeah.
Which I did see, I didn't watch a whole lot of. This is just me recommending shit. Because I think I've been talking a little bit about, like, the kind of versions of, like, these adaptations that I like. I like this version, which is very much like, wow, you know your comics so well. And, like, you're doing some of these characters better than they are in the actual comics sometimes. And then I like versions that are like, this is so out there silly. It's amazing. And then you have some shows in the middle, like Batman Brave and the Bold, where it's like, oh my god, you know your comics so well, but also this is hilariously wild. I've recently rewatched a show called DC Superhero Girls. You can laugh. I don't care. It's really fucking good. I'm talking about the 2019 version, which was from Lauren Faust, who also did the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I might have to watch it, because maybe it's also hilarious. But yeah, I'm just recommending things at this point.
I just feel like that Bryan Cranston meme from Malcolm in the Middle.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
I know.
This means total commitment. Once you begin the path, there is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
I guess so.
Neat. We'll start tomorrow.
Is that what we're doing next week? My Little Pony?
Little Pony? No, we want to talk about it next week? Do we want to go into final thoughts? What's up? Is this you telling me to wrap it up? You can tell me to wrap it up.
I'm running out of Amanda Waller gifs.
How many did you put in? Oh, you didn't even put in that many.
Only like 3.
4. I can count.
I put
but
one
I can't
in.
One was
speak
not
English.
me, thank you.
I put one in.
Okay. Alright, you're double teaming me. I see how it is. Alright, final thoughts. If you couldn't tell, I'm a yay. I don't feel like I need to elaborate past this point. This show's amazing. All the shows that we watched are amazing. If you haven't seen them and I haven't convinced you to watch them, no one ever will. I don't know. They're perfect. This is the perfect version of all these characters to me. Do they always have the perfect story to go with them? No. Let's not race Skywalker Terry McGinnis. But
I might have to do a discussion with you after this podcast on Rey Skywalker, because I don't want to drag this out even further.
Oh boy, we should do a Star Wars thing at some point. Yeah. But at another time. Yeah. No, still, again, I think I love the show. I love the characters. I love the stories. I love the just everything. I watched this 3 fucking times. I'm probably going to watch it for a 4th time when we're done. I'm going to rewatch all these episodes in the order that they're supposed to come in. I'm not skipping. So, yeah, man. Yay.
I thought it was a yay overall too. Maybe a bit of a lighter yay than some of the other ones that we watched this month. I would say this one and Batman Beyond might have been my least favorite of the ones, and I feel like Batman, Superman, and Static Shock I enjoyed more. But I would still say this is a yay. I still think this was really good, aside from the epilogue that I did not like. But apart from that, I don't really have many complaints. I really enjoyed most of these episodes. And I think aside from Wonder Woman, it gave me a good taste of most of it. And I really enjoyed the Batman and Superman stuff in particular. So I'd give it like a light to mid yay.
Yeah, I'm a high yay overall. Like, yeah, I didn't like Epilogue, but I kind of just was like, I didn't like the story decision, but there were still elements in that episode that I did like. But yeah, overall, I pretty much loved everything else. And this might be fighting words, but I think the opening to the original Justice League is probably my favorite out of the 4 or 5 that we watched this month. Like, I know the Batman theme, the Batman opening's iconic, but I just have a nostalgia for the original Justice League intro with the poorly CG characters and everything. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna fight you on that. I think that one might actually be the worst of this entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
Great orchestra. My God, those visuals are bad. They have aged so poorly.
They fixed it in the second one.
Yeah, Unlimited. I love Unlimited.
Yeah,
I love their
the
opening.
visuals were different.
I'll give this a yay. Maybe a lighter yay. Wasn't like super over the moon about it, but like it's fine. I have no complaints. I think it was better than Superman.
Was this a version of Superman that you wanted? Having anguish over actually losing his entire planet in front of his own eyes?
A little. It's more just he wasn't the main focus. He had friends.
Okay. All right. Now, I don't want it to be over. Oh well. Okay, so we got a couple. You know what? We might as well talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing for next year. Because we got a couple things going on. We actually sort of planned a lot of stuff for you guys. For us. Not for you guys. For everyone. For whoever is watching and listening. We're going to be watching some movies for January and for the first week of February. And then we got some specials. So we each, like, amongst ourselves and some of the other people on this podcast, picked out a bunch of anime movies that I think we've either have seen, haven't seen, or just everyone got a pick. So we got Inu-Oh. Whose was that?
That was mine.
That's yours. Describe it real quick.
A musical anime that was made by the guy who did Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, okay. We got Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which was my recommendation. I'm a fan of it. It's got a lot of things I like in it, and it's a cool ass movie that we haven't watched yet. Oh god, Kozi's not here. McQuai. Oh god, Cece, how do I say this?
Can't help you. Never heard of it.
McQuai.
I heard it's like a coming of age type movie.
McQuai. When the Promised Flower Blooms. We'll probably go with When the Promised Flower Blooms as well we're describing. I feel like we're back in the Tawanaquan thing, where Kozi always recommends something that I just can't pronounce. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, it's a fantasy drama. They're not here to tell me about it, so I don't know. Chibi picked Spy X Family Code White, which I guess we can watch without watching a lot of the other Spy X Family, because I haven't really caught up with it at all. But,
yes, you do not need to. You do not need to. There is a. Yeah, you pretty much don't need to watch it. They kind of recap the series in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then the rest of the movie is just a standalone adventure.
Okay, well that'll be convenient. And then yours was Bayonetta Bloody Fate. Would you like to describe that at all?
The simplest way I could describe it is it's an adaptation of the first game in the series.
I see. And what's the most complicated way you can describe it?
Bayonetta can't even describe her lore and plot half the time in her own games, let alone me.
Fair enough. Yeah, so those are going to be the movies we're going to be watching. And after that, we're starting another tournament.
Yay.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a fucking
tournament
lot.
arc.
Yeah, we got a tournament arc. We done the Shonen Showdown. I think we all had a lot of fun. Cece and Kozi weren't there for that one, I don't think.
Nope.
That was ancient. That was a long time ago.
That was our first time. We had some fun. We learned some things, and then later we did the Collect Them All tournament. I think I learned some things about proper preparation, which I didn't have for that one. So, I feel like I've learned my lesson. We've all grown and learned a lot of things, and we've decided to really, really go for it this time. We're going to be doing the Maho Shoujo Showdown. Of course, we got to do a Magical Girl tournament. We have 32 shows that we're going to be watching. It's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
You will find out more as we get closer, but I'm just letting you know that right now. It's a fucking lot. And it's going to be interesting, hopefully. That or it's going to be terrible. I have no idea. But either way, it'll be funny by the end of it. So, yeah. I hope you guys stick around for that. Thanks for hanging out with us this year, and hopefully, we have fun in the new year that's coming. Hope you guys do as well. I don't know. Have fun out there. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!